Hi everybody, welcome to my channel for new battle report. Another practice game on Warhall, using Warhall quite a lot at the moment because I don't have so many guys living nearby that are available to play games. And it's also, I must say, very convenient when you are, like me, a father of a small child. It's quite, it's quite useful that you can just play at the evening. If something came up, you can always save the game and play later. So yeah, I like it a lot. What is this battle report about? Just a practice game. Basically, my opponent Dim wanted colleague from my team, from Team ETC Switzerland, wanted to play a practice game with his Warrior of the Dark God against Infernal Dwarves, and it was also the occasion for me to produce for you another battle report with something a bit different than my usual Ogre Can that I displayed quite a lot since ETC. So let's see, I tried out this list. So often with me when I play Infernal Dwarf, I like to bring on the table the Prophet, Great Bull of Shamut. Quite expensive at the moment, was nerfed a couple of times, but still attractive in my opinion. Master Occultism, MR2, Binding Scroll, so useful build, the usual build, sorry. Then I put Lamasu Scholar, that I think is a good complementary piece because it provides a lot of buffs that are something that the Great Bull sometimes lack. I often like to pick a lot of damage spell, and then there is not much room to take buff or debuff spell. VZBSB with the mask, I wanted to place him within the big unit of Citadel Guard, and basically with the mask I can make sure that I can take steadfast. If he's still alive, I can take steadfast check on the 9 rollable against a unit that causes fear, which is nice, and also this protects me a little bit against snipes. So quite cheap, and a central BSB that is still quite solid for the price. 24 Citadel Guard with Pistol Spear, Ban of Speed. Why did I pick the Ban of Speed instead of, for example, Flaming Banner? It's because I'm playing also Gunnery Team, Nafta Thrower. So I wanted to have the threat range increase for the small range, the short range especially. So as you probably know, the short range is 6-inch only, and if I can march 11, that's 17, so still quite nice. Can do strength 5, multi-wound D3, flaming in short range, which can be damaging, potentially game-breaking in some unit. Then 2 units of levies with Banner of Relentless Company, one of them with bows, 20 Shekel Slave with shield. 2 units of Anointed. Wanted to try my own version of the double 5 Chaos Knight, but this time with Anointed. I saw they are still really decent combat wise, a bit expensive for what maybe at the moment in comparison to the other options. Infernal Weapon Shield, it's like 18 points per model when the paired weapon is free, so it's crazy expensive. It was raised during the last update last year, but I still feel it can be a good option on the table. Even if a bit expensive, it can still be really good. Gunnery Team and Academy Titan walking Urquhart, which is a decent, a big base to protect my Great Bull of Shamut if I need to, and the Lamasu potentially, because they cannot hide behind anything else in the list, and it's still a strong combat piece, so I thought, yeah, seems a good choice. My opponent was playing the following list, which is an MSU-ish type of list. He played an Exalted Herald, an Adept Evocation, a Barbarian Chief with a 1-up, then he had 22 Warrior, Great Weapon on Ras, so very hard hitting unit. He had a Relentless Banner on this guy in order to make them march fast if you want to. 8 Warhounds, 4 units of Warrior Knight with Great Weapon Ras, so they strike at on the charge, Agility 6, Strength 6, which is really, really good. 2 Giant, one of them is a Mage, and 5 Flayers. We played King of the Hill and Encircle, and below you have the spell selection. I debated a bit whether or not I should pick Hereditary or Mark for Doom, for example, can also be good. At the end, I went for the following combination that allows me to have quite a lot of combat buff, so we'll see how that goes. What do I think about the matchup? It's not a hard secondary to draw, generally speaking, but it could be hard to win, especially since my opponent has an aggressive army and is going to come at me. I have tools to deal with high armor, so I don't feel too... Yeah, it's not the same than playing with other lists that don't have so much tools when you're facing so many cavalries. Main threats, Herald, I have Occultist Mage, I have Strength 6 units, so I have a lot of tools to potentially deal with him. Then the Warrior Brick is also a huge threat, but I thought my Citadel Guard with the Gunnery, if I can manage to chaff him, shoot him multiple times, it could be in a position where these guys cannot fight me anymore because they don't have so many bodies. Estimation kind of drawish. Deployment, so what happened? He won the roll for side, picked the big center and picked the hill, the forest as his terrain to defend, which makes a lot of sense. And I picked the wall in the middle and I deploy everything to start. So I deployed pretty compact between both secondary objective. I put anointed here, so 12 from my central unit, 12 from my central unit, no big surprise. Vassals with no bows, vassal with bows, Lamassu, my block of Citadel Guard with the Gunnery and the BSB. Then you have my Shacket Slave, General, and on the far right, Kalim Titan. Counter deployment of my opponent, he put 2 cavalry on the left, 2 more on the right, then in the middle is brick, so very symmetric to what I did actually. 2 cavalry facing one, 2 cavalry facing the other one, brick facing the brick, a chaff facing the chaff more or less, and then he had 1 giant on the left, 1 giant on the right, and Exalted in the middle. Let's move on to my turn 1. So I push hard to the right to be out of line of sight of these guys, still within range to Toxic Press. Move those guys on the wall to be distracting and still give him long charges. Move slightly forward on the left, but not too much as well. Remain quite compact. In the magic phase, I cast Breath Weapon here, but he dispelled that. And then I got Rot Within on the warrior, which is for me quite significant because it reduced them to weapon skill 4. And in the perspective of a fight between the two main block, he hits me on the 4-up, which changed a lot. So quite interesting. And then with I think 1 dice left or 2 dice, I put just +1 armor save on the general in case. He's turn 1 and he push hard. So chaffing on the left, chaffing on the right as well. Then he relentless his big unit, push the giant on the hill, push those 2 cavalry marching forward. I think I had maybe some DT to take, but didn't suffer any wounds. Those guys also move forward, ready to charge if I take the bait to charge them. What else? The giant came to chaff my Titan, and this allows the Exalted Herald to be in aggressive position and cast some good spell on my Titan, which feels to be a good idea for him. So he might trade the giant for the Titan, but still be able to to do enough wound to maybe even finish me, because if I charge, I'm going to strike before him, suffer some DTs. So wounds from magic, wounds from DTs, and then he strikes after me, so he could very well finish me, which could be a dangerous charge to take for me. In magic phase, he takes 4 dice, rolled Gravecall on my Kalim Titan. We were on the small card, so 6 dice to 5. He rolls a 20, so I cannot dispel that with 5 dice. I let that go, and he did with reroll to wound 6 wounds to the Titan. So it hurts. Turn 1, Titan on 1 wound left. Quite annoying. So let's see how I do react on turn 2 to this turn of event and the fact that I'm chaff and pushed. So I did the following. I tried to clean the chaff, so I charged with the slaves and here with the vassal levies to get rid of both chaff with cheap unit that are not too afraid of getting charged afterwards. Then I uses the relentless, I don't know, I just chaff them, maybe with the relentless, I don't know, but I chaff them in the flank, so if they want to charge me, they hit the flank, they cannot hit this unit. I was able to march in a position that I can hit, shoot within 6 inch on this unit, and as you can see, there is a token. I put last round a couple of shots on the unit and gave them oilskin, which is going to be great. These guys are chaff as well, depending what they do. Actually, I move slightly back with them, move back with them on the left as well, basically trying to increase the charge range. So he's on 8 Swift Stride. We'll see how that goes. Replace my Lamassu in a safe spot, but still able to see a lot of things. Place my Great Bull in a position to Gravecall his giant, and basically I march with Titan in a spot. I try to try to move around since I have only 1 wound left, try to find the best spot, and basically I want to make him think twice. If he wants to push with the Exalted Herald, I'm going to be in his back, and at some point, or in his flank, and at some point I might have a good flank charge that could be crazy good for me, and yeah, he has to be aware of that, and if he wants to look at me to cast spell, then he's not looking at other stuff, which I felt could be quite interesting for me. Then Magic Phase, I got Breast Weapon in on my Great Bull, I guess. I rolled an 11 on the hits, so I was feeling excited, but did only 2 wounds to the cavalry. Then +2 armor save, I tried to 5 dice it on my guys on the left, feeling stressed by the fact that I can get double charge. Of course, I could lose the Lamassu, but I think it could be a combat changer, so to say, game changer. 5 dice, but with 5 dice, he managed to take that out. And then Shooting Phase with the Flamethrower, I managed to do 10 hits total, so 1d6 plus 2d3, and then reroll to wound and so on, armor save, I kill 7, which is still like the back row, so still quite good. Close combat, I kill 3, he flees, and he just stopped in front of the cavalry chaffing himself, which was very good operation. I expected the same on the left, but he rolled just above 8, which was enough to jump over here. So still get rid of the chaff for now, which is, I think, good news for me. And I restrain 2 times. His turn 2. So took a 3D view for the charges. So he charges here, charges with the giant against my bull, which surprised me a bit. He is going to strike before me, only 6 attack. So I felt there was a good chance I can get rid of him. Obviously, he will be steadfast if I don't kill him. But still, I felt okay about that. I shouldn't go too bad, and if I can get rid of the giant, it's nice. He rallied those guys on 3 dice. Those guys are kind of stuck. He decided, which surprised me, to charge alone with the character, and just those guys just slide a bit, but they're still kind of chuffed by this. Here took the 2 charges, so this one was like automatic, and this one on 8, and unfortunately for me, he get both. So not too happy about that. Here charged with the giant, I couldn't do anything much better. He's going to get an overrun on 9 if he wants to clip them. I wanted to give them, basically, I gave a flank to those guys and a face to them. I wanted to avoid overrun and stuff. Tried to do my best, but maybe I could have angled slightly better to make the overrun impossible or harder. I'm not sure I made the right call here. But we will see how that goes. So Magic Phase, he got a giant, yeah, I think, yeah, that's it. I think this one was maybe on a 5 and this was on an 8. I think so. Anyway, oh no, this giant was on a 5, sorry. I Binding Scroll reroll to hit this round, try to avoid too many buffs on this combat. I got Rod of Battle on 1 cavalry. I Dispel, reroll to wound. Close combat, so this giant break my vassals, he rolled an 8, so he just stopped 1 inch away from them, which was good news for me. Choruk Anointed on the left, so maybe start with the other combat. So here we stuck as well. I had maybe some steadfast check, but I was okay. Great Bull against the giant, he goes before me, did 1 wound to me, and then I use Breast Weapon, all my attack, and only with the Breast Weapon I roll like 7 hits, and it did 4 wounds, and then with the attack of the Great Bull, just kill it outright. So good news for me, only 1 wound suffered. And here on the far left, pretty average, basically. He did 6 wounds to me, and I did 2 wounds back, which is expected. I was steadfast, so I passed steadfast check on the 9 rollable. My turn, and let's see, I cannot recall whether or not I had a line of sight. I would say yes, from the Lamassu to this combat. I'm not sure. I think I could have been in a better position if I didn't have it. I don't know if it was worth it to charge or not. Could have been really good. Anyway, so I decided against the charge. If I could see, I would say maybe no, but then I should have placed better. Here I couldn't take that charge because too many things looking at me, so I just moved back with them. Move the Great Bull to the side, out of line of sight to Gravecrawl him. He was still stuck in combat. Here I position my Titan all the way back to threaten him. He's stuck in combat, and here we can see what he wants to do. So he's going to try to charge that out, to charge them after, and so on. And those guys manage to move out of the way, so the giant cannot see me, and I can shoot again at them. And if they charge me, there is only 3 models in contact, which I felt okay about. So I'm going to shoot again short range, which is going to be good. Again, bit nervous about the combat on the left. We'll see how that goes. Magic phase. I got Binding Scrolls, Grave Call because of the position of the Great Bull, which makes sense. I got Breast Weapon in, kill 2 of these guys this time. And then was kind of funny. I think I tried to put -1 weapon skill on one of the cavalry with the Lamassu with 2 dice. I rolled quite low. He uses 2 dice to dispel it, and then with 3 dice against 5, before I roll, he told me, oh, that's going to come and bite me. And I roll 3 dice, and with 5 dice he fluffed, and I get +2 armor save on those guys on the left, which was a huge risk for him, I think, to take at this point of time. So I've been lucky here. This time the flame cannon kill only 3, not crazy when there is no roll to wound, obviously. The slaves, I think were still stuck in combat. The anointed, I put the stat again. I kill only 1, so I go before him. This time a bit below than expected. I try to strike, I don't remember which unit. I think on the one with the Rod of Battle. Basically, I go at them. I kill only 1, and he did totally 3, which for him is expected. I lose by... No, he did only 2, maybe? Maybe no, I think he did 1 and 1, so 2. I think only 2. And I did 1, and I lose by 1. I pass my check on 8 rollable, and I think here was a draw, and here maybe I had to take a steadfast on 9 rollable. He's turn 3. This time those guys can reform and move in front of me, turn around the giant to countercharge me in case we're stuck. Exalted Herald face my Great Bull, tempt me to charge, but at the same time chaffs my Titan, which is smart. Decided to charge here with the cavalry. I wasn't too nervous about that, since right now they are stuck against a parry unit, and I'm still in a position to countercharge with stuff, and here he charged out of the way with the 2 flayers that rallied before. In the magic phase, he grave calls again my Great Bull. I have MR2, so he thinks hard to get 13. He rolled 5 dice and he rolled 666. So Exalted Herald, boom, dead. Then he rolls 9 hits, reroll 2 wounds, and he managed to get enough that I die. So both are dead, basically. Then close combat. We did so here. I stuck again. I was steadfast. Here again I was steadfast. So here 9 rollable. Here 9 no reroll. And on the far left I did this time 1 wound. So I'm going before him again. Last round I went before him, and this time again before him. And again I rolled 1 wound, which is a bit lower. And this time he rolls 3 wounds to me, which is not bad. And I have a check on a -2, so 7 rollable. And this time I pass it again. So a bit lucky here. Now it's going to be my turn. So counter charges. I charge here finally to get rid of those guys, and I see a very good opening because my Titan is in the flank on the 8 Swift Stride. Take that charge and I make it. So here feeling really excited. He has only 2 attacks on the 4-up because of Rot Within and my power, so 4-up and 4-up. And then I have a ward save. And if it doesn't kill me, then it's like going to break. Very excited about that. Those guys just reform in case, because I was thinking if he frees himself, turn around, charge me, I want to minimize what he can do, and then reform and stuff. Here we stuck. In the magic phase, I try to get -1 weapon skill on some guys here. I rolled 111. Then I try to get +2 armor save on them with 5 dice. He 5 dice and dispels it. Anointed, I did again 1 wound on the champion. He goes back and did 3 wounds to me. I have another 7 rollable that I pass again. Kadim Titan, 2 attacks, doesn't do anything. I go back, I did like 5 wounds. He auto breaks. He runs, roll a 6. excited about that because there is the mage in the unit as well. And I roll a 5 on Swift Stride, so I don't get him, and now he can countercharge me. Annoying here, I kill the flayers, he sticks. I kill those two guys, and he run them down. Here, I think we made that correctly, because basically I kill those guys, so I'm out of combat, I guess. He can pursue me and move out of the way, basically, and he just run me down. His turn, so he turn around to be in a position to maybe go for the secondary later on. Here we're still stuck. Here he charged with the giant on my flank. I have only one wound left. He rallied those guys on 8, no reroll, annoying, and here we're still stuck in combat. Magic phase. He got, I think, +1 to hit on the giant. And he got also breast weapon, roll a 555, loses a wound on the giant, which is nice for him. And then in close combat, uses toxic, did a lot, kills me outright. So no discussion here. My anointed managed to finish the last wound at least of this cavalry, but then he just killed me and turned around. Here I think I was still steadfast, or was okay. And my turn 5. So move the brick again in a position where the giant cannot see me and I can shoot him at short range. I have like 4 or 5 pistol shot. Plus multiple wound D3 roll to wound on the giant. Maybe I can get rid of him. He can charge me in the flank here, but that's the only unit that can charge me, basically. Those guys just continue to defend the piece of terrain, and here we're still stuck in combat. In the magic phase, I got +2 armor save on the big block, and also -2 weapon skill here, and reduces the movement of them. So, yeah, nice, really nice magic phase. Here I lose by 1, pass a 8 rollable again, so yeah, very resilient vassals, and no combat. He's turn 5. He decided to charge me to try to pin me down and then bring some other strengths to get rid of them, which is, I think, a decent idea. So he charged me in the flank, but the problem for him is the fact that I'm buffed, and buffed a lot. Meaning, if I turn around after it's going to be another turn with another magic, and I have a lot of static res, it could be hard. We will see how that goes. He failed the march check of the giant, just move around to threaten my backline, to threaten with a combo charge, basically. Needed a 5 on those guys for the charge. Then Rod of Battle, dispelled. He got the breast weapon on the cavalry. And he got reroll to hit with 3 dice against 4. Vassals lose by 1, but passes 8 rollable. And here I managed to kill some, like 2 or 3. I did some wounds and I turned around. Basically, I think I was steadfast or we tied. I don't remember, to be honest. My turn. So I saw an opportunity. The Lamassu is going to charge on the flank with overrun into the flank of the warriors. Here we're still stuck. And here I just protect my piece of terrain, and I was already seeing that if I kill those guys and get the overrun, I can just reform those guys to block the giant, which could be nice. In the magic phase, I needed a 9 on the Lamassu, so it wasn't an easy charge at all, but a decisive charge to get. I'm going to get +1 armor save on those guys. I dispel the rest, and the Lamassu, yeah, we did a lot. I overrun to him flank, and I reform those guys. Nice operation. He gets rid of the 2 remaining guys, so he's finally free with the lone guy. He decided not to charge with the giant on them. Obviously, move around, charge in the back, charge in the front, but failed that charge. I think maybe luckily for him. And he thought to move out with the character before. Magic phase. He failed roll to hit. He got +1 to hit on the warrior. I dispelled toxic breath. And close combat, Lamassu did 4 wounds. He did 1 wound to me, meaning I win by a lot. He had to take a 4 rerollable, and he passes that one. So, still here, going to save half of the point. And here, I think I had to check on 9 rollable, but I was okay. And we finished like that. So, interesting. Let's move on to the points. It's 10-10. I took the Exalted Herald, or we took each other, so to say. Half the warrior, warhounds, 3 of the warrior knight unit, 1 giant, 5 flayers, and he took, so my giant, the 3 chaffing core units, so to say, a unit of anointed, and the Kadim Titan. Post-game analysis. So yeah, first of all, exciting game with a lot of action, a lot of combat. So yeah, it was very very happy to play that game. It was really enjoyable. Post-game analysis. So deployment felt right. I think I deployed correctly. Left Anointed could have been a bit deeper to make his chaff possibility a bit harder, and also maybe to, I don't know, to be honest, but maybe to make like the charge turn 2 a bit harder. I don't know. Both Exalted Herald, Prime Target, thinking about range damage, magic, Kadim Titan and the Great Bull were, I think, too close from each other. He was able to get rid of the, at least, yeah, do 6 wounds of the Titan and then kill my Great Bull and everything in the same area of the map. I should have dispatched them a bit further away from each other. Left Anointed were really solid against the Knights. I saw nothing too crazy. So I had big luck to get the +2 armor save. Obviously, I should have placed better the Lamassu to get the counter charge. I think that's 2 key points. But after that, I think I rolled a slightly below the medium. The median, I think, is the right mathematical word. Not sure about that, but like the middle number, I rolled slightly below than that, and it rolled pretty average. And at the end, I had a couple of checks to take because of that, but I managed to hold. So yeah, most of my units were quite resilient. I failed 1 steadfast on a 9 no reroll, and I think I passed like 4, 5, 9 rollable, couple 2 7 rollable, 1 8 rollable, something like that, I guess. Citadel Guard were in a hot spot in the middle of a lot of threats, but I managed still to move around, avoid things, shoot. I forgot to mention that I misfire with the flamethrower, couldn't shoot again. When I was close to the giant, I misfire roll a 1 and couldn't shoot after that. And with the pistol shot, I managed to do 1 wound. About the list, couple of learnings for me. Not sure about the spell selection. I didn't cast the ward save spell. Wrath Within cast only 1 time, was mid useful. Should have maybe taken like Hereditary and as well Mark for Doom. I think would have been better. Kadim Titan, Great Bull share the same weakness. There is always the same question for me when I play both. Should I have both in the list or not? Big question. Central VZ BSB was very useful. I had a lot of key reroll and it was always at the right spot because the unit was at the right spot. Bringing the reroll everywhere around him was really useful for me. The Lamassu basically did the whole CC buff phase alone, but I had only 2 buffs, which is not a lot, so maybe I need another one. Warrior of the Dark God, I think some debatable charge choices. For example, going alone with the Chieftain against the Vassal was a bad idea. Also, since the Warrior brick was still chaffed, so he should have charged in the flank with the brick, get rid of me, would have been much better. Then going against the Slave with cavalry didn't pay off really. I mean, he lost 1 cavalry and the other one got rid of me, but took so much time to do it. Wasn't maybe the best choice. So that's it, guys, for this battle report. Very exciting, like I mentioned, to play. Yeah, looking forward to see what are the changes in a couple of weeks on the new update for the Infernal Dwarves. Maybe it's going to shake my list again, but was happy to try out something a bit new. We'll see if I keep things like that, if I definitely going to try out some other option. This also helped me to be motivated to do painting on the evenings. So yeah, I always recommend to play, try new lists. Then it definitely brings motivation to try new things. So to try to paint new things, which is always a good idea. I think it's also a hobby. So it's also a part of our game that I enjoy a lot. Guys, thanks a lot for watching this battle report. Thanks a lot for following the channel. I don't say it often, but if you like the content, don't forget to subscribe. This helped me. This always helps me, and it's a bit of a reward. So it's always nice to see the numbers growing. And take care. See you soon. Bye.